Hi guys, now we're going to deal with one of the key marketing sheets that you have. And the key calculation this one will do is here. And it's the only set of assumptions that you need to put in. It's what % of your traffic become a trial. So when you think of your funnel, you generate traffic at the top, it then converts to a trial, and then it converts to paid. So this sheet really deals with sucking in all the traffic up into a build, and then you define what parts become trial. They then feed into your monthly and your annual calculations to figure out what then becomes paid. So the way we approach marketing in this model is we think of all your paid and earned activities as an opportunity to create traffic. When you create traffic, you have an opportunity to convert those people into trials. That's the way we think about it. The only anomaly in this is channel sales or channel partnerships. That is approached differently. We don't think of that as traffic. We think of that almost as a direct to trial. And so for a number of calculations, we strip out our channel sales separately because it's not really comparing apples to apples with the rest of the logic in that. So in the summary, we can see what percentage come from paid and what comes from your earned, so your total, and then what parts become paid or earned trials, so your total number of trials. Now that traffic build I mentioned, see the green cells? It's pulling in your paid sheet, blog promotion, email, social, and organic, which are these yellow ones here, and sucking them together, right? And it tells you the total amount of traffic that happens, which is that opportunity to create a trial. Now, I've grouped them up to try and just make it look a little bit nicer. But if you want to change these conversion rates over time, it's really easy to do. You set out what you think you're going to start with. So we got 1.9, maybe say it's 1.5 again. And we'll say over time, because of on-site optimization or something, we'll get a 20% bump, which means we'll now be at 1.8% conversion. And maybe that'll go up again 30%. So we're converting at 2.34%. Play around with those and figure out what makes sense for your business. You really want to look then and figure out the implied conversion rates of these two, of how they impact, because these here are your trial to paid numbers, and this effectively implies what your total average conversion rate is. So if you're doing something in the region of 1%, you're onto something pretty bloody special. So if your numbers are getting to 2-3%, you'd want to have a bloody good reason to justify why you are that special. So again, all you need to do in here is type in what your conversion rates are, and you can hide them up if you don't want to see them anymore. And these will drive off your calculations. So from your traffic on your blog, we'll take the amount of traffic you get against the conversion, and that tells you the number of trials you get. For paid, it's the same thing. For all these to total trials. This will show you what your cumulative number of trials are. And this will all then get presented in your charts, which then are replicated in your charts sheet. So look at these over time, see do they make sense. If they don't, play around with the assumptions. You'll never get these numbers right, but they can be wrong. So what's more important is that the trends look right, that you have logic of why you're doing things. If you're too high or too low a baseline, that you've got a good reason or a story around how those numbers work. Okay, but otherwise, there's very few assumptions you need to put in to create the results that you want. Cool?